And welcome to a Halloween edition of Cronkite Sports Live. That joke was terrible, but I'm Jason Chesler.
And I'm Mauricio Casillas.
Mel, let me echo something that I think is often said on a Friday morning at ASU. What on earth happened last night?
Jason, it was an absolute crazy game last night, ASU against Oregon. Let's take a look at the highlights. What are those? ASU fans clearly not pleased with Oregon's uniforms, but hey, ASU's uniforms were looking sharp. It was salute to service night. Everyone had Pat Tillman's name on their back. We picked things up early in the game, 5 left in the first quarter. Royce Freeman, Oregon running back, taking this one 64 yards to the house. Look at that. Right into the end zone, puts the Ducks up 10-0. Then 2 minutes left in the half, ASU down 17-7. Berkovici threading the needle to Gary Chambers for a 39-yard touchdown. ASU only down 3 heading into halftime. Now let's fast forward to the fourth quarter. Berkovici with a huge play here, rolls one way, throws it the other way, and look who's wide open. Tight end Cody Cole scores to put ASU up 41-34 with 7:49 left in regulation. Now ASU would get the ball back and look to ice the game here. Here's Berkovici rolling to his right, but his throw right here is picked off. Tyree Robinson giving the Ducks a little bit of life. Now the way this game ends is just crazy. The Ducks march all the way down the field, and we have a 4th and goal right here. Last chance for Oregon, and quarterback Vernon Adams escaping pressure, buying time, and heaves this one all the way to back of the end zone. It's got no chance. No, it does. Unbelievable. Dwayne Stanford somehow holds on. Oregon comes back. We head into overtime. First play of OT, Adams says, hey, why not hit Stanford again? He does exactly that. Ducks score an OT on that first play. Hit the extra point. Now ASU has a chance for a rebuttal. Berkovici slings it to Tim White. Look at the extension there. White gets the touchdown. Sun Devils tie it up. And now triple OT. Oregon would score first on its possession, but missed the 2-point conversion. ASU 3 yards out from tying it up. Berkovici looks to his left, throws, and is picked off there. Arian Springs seals the win for Oregon. An absolutely heartbreaking loss for ASU, 61-55. Now, looking at the stats right here, ASU 742 total yards, Oregon 501 yards. ASU scores 55 points, finds a way to lose. Now, WCSN football reporter Brett Decker was there on the scene to talk about how they found a way to end up losing the game.
To summarize Arizona State's loss to Oregon in just one word wouldn't do it justice. But for Sun Devil head coach Todd Graham, one word is enough.
Disappointed.
And why wouldn't he be? On a night when his offense scored 55 points and gained 742 yards on 107 plays, his team still lost. And while it was quarterback Mike Berkovici's end zone interception in the third overtime that sealed the deal, Graham has a hard time blaming the offense.
Really proud of their effort, and they deserve to win.
Instead, Thursday night's 61-55 loss came down to undisciplined play from ASU.
We just did some things that are just, very uncharacteristic of our football team.
They committed 9 penalties, blew way too many secondary assignments, allowed a kickoff return touchdown, and missed 3 field goals. It's not often a Todd Graham coached football team plays like that.
Probably had the most critical errors in our tenure.
The referees weren't perfect in this game either, and those calls hurt a lot worse when playing undisciplined football. But even if the calls went ASU's way, they're still responsible for putting themselves in those situations.
That was a heck of a football game. But at the end of the day, we made too many mistakes to win.
Only 2 months ago, the Sun Devils were thinking about championships. Now, at 4-4 on the season, come December, they'll be hoping for a bowl game. From Tempe, I'm Brett Deckert for Cronkite Sports.
And now for more on that triple overtime thriller, we bring in Zach Pokleb, WCSN football reporter. Zach, you heard Todd Graham talk about it there. Uncharacteristic mistakes, penalties. What was going on with this team?
Well, first, the defense was uncharacteristically undisciplined, both in their scheme and after the play as well. And in their scheme, Kareem Orr blew 2 assignments that led to some wide open Oregon touchdowns, and it also led to Darren Carrington dropping what would have been an 80-yard touchdown catch. But the penalties are what was most concerning. That's uncharacteristic not only of this team, but of Todd Graham's program. This is a team that prides themselves on that discipline. And Tayshawn Smallwood and Jordan Simone both committed these personal foul penalties that extended Oregon's drive, continued to give them life, and added points to the Ducks' score that kept them close and allowed Oregon to come back at the end, and ended up ASU losing the game.
Now, Zach, one of the things that is basically on everyone's mind for that ASU game, 2nd and 3, you're 3 yards away from tying the game up in triple overtime. Mike Norvell's got 2 running backs that have run for over 100 yards on the ground, and he decides to throw it there. What was going on?
That's the million-dollar question, because Demario Richard and Kalen Ballage were absolutely going to work on Oregon's defense. You can see they're getting 8.45 yards per carry. A lot of that was after contact. Oregon just had a lot of trouble bringing down these 2 physical runners. I mean, there was one highlight where Kalen Ballage absolutely trucked one of Oregon's cornerbacks, and that's just a testament to how the trend of the offense was going. They were running the ball really well inside and outside of the hash marks, and yet in overtime they didn't feed the running backs at all. They did not touch the ball once. That's just perplexing, the fact that they were having so much success on the ground, and yet they opted to go with the passing game. Mike Bercovici played pretty well. Obviously that last play didn't go in his favor, and that's why everybody's asking the questions from Mike Norvell.
Now, Zach, the Sun Devils are 4-4 on the year. A lot of people picked them as a trendy pick to make the college football playoff, but now, exactly you, 4-4 on the season. What are they playing for now?
The fact that they have to play for bowl eligibility is shocking, but that's the reality for Arizona State. They have 4 games to go 2-2. They have Washington State, Washington, Arizona. I mean, these are talented teams. Arizona State's more talented than these teams, and they have every reason to win every single one of these games, but they have shown that they have spotty play, and the fact that they have these discipline issues and the fact that they're committing personal foul penalties is just very, very unsettling, I guess, for Todd Graham and his team. They should make a bowl. They should, but they also should have won a few of these games in the last few weeks.
Now, Zach, next up for the Sun Devil football team, they got Washington State, not this Saturday, but the next. Zach Poklib, we thank you for the very latest on Sun Devil football.
Southern New Hampshire just what the doctor ordered for ASU hockey. Now that anemic Sun Devil offense found its cure at Oceanside Ice Arena last weekend. 16 goes over 2 days. What's up next for the program? How about a marquee matchup against Wisconsin? Business as usual, according to Coach Greg Powers.
So, simple hockey. That's the way we have to play. And pucks in, pucks out, and
Joining us next will be Jacob Janauer, WCSN hockey reporter, frequent contributor of CronkiteSports.com, and an all-around pretty excellent guy. Having some technical difficulties bringing Jacob in, but I will tell you one thing as a fan of the Sun Devil hockey team, someone who's covered them for years, pretty compelling team. Number of freshmen making big impacts. There you are, Jacob. So check out our split screen technology. I was just getting to the point, Jacob. Number of freshmen playing a big role this year in the freshman season for the Sun Devils at the NCAA level, right?
Yeah, it's only fitting that in their first year in the NCAA, freshmen have made the big impact for the Sun Devils. There's 15 total. Can't talk about all of them, but the first guy I'm going to talk about, Joey Ratz, 7 assists, 8 points, both lead the team. Jordan Masters, he leads the team with 2 goals. He also said last week that he wants to be more physical, which will be huge for his development. Then, of course, Cody Gilling, 2 power play goals. ASU had been struggling on the power play, but they looked to him to help out their attack last week, and he really contributed.
Now, the freshman not just contributing, scoring points, also between the pipes. Robert Levin, the goaltender all last year, really the first-choice guy. This year, he's got some real competition from a pair of newcomers.
Yeah, there's been 2 freshmen who have really stepped up. Rylan Pashovitz has played in 5 games, got a .915 save percentage. He looks to be the starter for the long run, but David Jacobson entered the season as the 3rd stringer. He's played in 2 games, including a game against UConn, where he saved 30 shots and allowed just 1 goal, so he's been impressive in his own right.
Now, I teased it while we were waiting for you to get on screen, Jacob. A big matchup this weekend against this Wisconsin Badgers team. What do you expect?
Well, Wisconsin's an interesting matchup for the Sun Devils because they're a storied program, but the last couple of years they've had their issues. This season they haven't won a game yet. Last season they won just 4 games, but they made the NCAA tournament in 2013 and 2014. It's a great chance for ASU to get another road win or 2 in the NCAA.
Sun Devil hockey on the road this weekend. Our coverage team, Jacob Janauer included, they'll be right at home, right in the recaps, right in the articles. Check them out and stay tuned on CronkiteSports.com. Thanks, Jacob.
Coming into this week, Sun Devil volleyball was 2-2 without Macy Gardner. They're now 2-4. After a loss to Stanford on Wednesday and Cal on Thursday, the Sun Devils sit at 500 in the conference play. Good for 5th overall in the Pac-12. But there was a bright spot for ASU this week. Against Cal, senior setter Bianca Arellano surpassed 3,000 assists. She's currently 4th in ASU history and trails 3rd place by over 600 assists. Good stuff from Bianca.
Really impressive. While studying for her MCAT.
Absolutely. We mentioned that last week.
The student athlete, She's smart. She's going to med school. Troy Lynch is wearing glasses this afternoon. He must be smart as well. He's our social media analyst. Troy, break down some tweets.
Jason, there's a reason why I'm on social media this week, and I don't think it's because I'm smart. I don't even know what the MCAT is, but these glasses, they definitely do the job. And happy Halloween, guys. Mao, these glasses, that's my costume. I'm you.
Impossible.
Wow.
It's not impossible. I'm
This
making
cannot
it work.
be pulled off.
I'm making it work.
Is
All
that
right, guys.
Mauricio on the monitor? How's he over there?
Exactly. You know, you don't even know.
I would
Look
never
exactly
wear
alike.
such a tie, Jason.
All right. Well, I got 3 tweets for you. Let's hit the first one right now. This first one, ASU soccer a few days ago, they had a practice where they dressed in their Halloween costumes. You see a few avocados, Spider-Man, and my personal favorite, bacon. Guys, what do you think of their costumes? And also, what are you planning to be?
Well, Troy, first off, I want to talk about the fact that you gave a shout out to bacon. Avocado is there. Avocado is an absolutely fantastic superfood. Good fats, good oils. And as for my Halloween costume, it's the Mets' best baseball player on earth, Bartolo Colon. I'm going to kill it,
The GOAT.
Jason.
Yeah, I agree. Bacon very overhyped right now. I'm disappointed in you, Troy. I'm not disappointed in those Powerpuff Girl costumes.
Those are nice.
I'm going to be a 90s cartoon as well, maybe early 2000s. TJ from Recess. I was born to play that role, guys.
Yeah, there is even a Suns fan thrown in there. You know, that's kind of scary. All right, moving on to this second tweet that I have. Last night, Braylon Addison, the controversial catch. Here's photo proof right there by JoJo Huck. Zoom in on that a little bit. Is he in? Is he out? Doesn't matter. This tweet got 230 retweets. It's getting national attention, guys. What do you think about the catch? Was it right? Was it wrong? And also, what do you think about the quality of the picture?
You know, the pic shows it all. Got to give credit to JoJo on that one. Maybe he dragged his foot. Maybe he didn't.
Right.
Push comes to shove. Sun Devils deserve to lose, even though Oregon's numbers look like green saran wrap.
Ooh,
That's
wow.
my thought.
Jason,
Wow, Mal.
you can clearly look. It's a high-quality photo. He was probably shooting on raw. His toe was clearly out of bounds. And Braylon Addison, what are those? What was he wearing?
What are those?
That's the ultimate question, Mal. What are those? But on to the next tweet. We knew that Kylie Pickerel was talented, but we didn't know how high she could really jump. Just making it look easy, just chilling on top of a basketball hoop. Now, what do you say about this young freshman?
I will say Kylie Pickerel, definitely you're brave, braver than I am, but not because you're getting up there, but because Bobby Hurley's going to come after you because of that hoop. He's going to come after her.
Yeah.
Those things are valuable. We heard some word before the show. Apparently in that same tweet, there's a picture of Bianca Ariano dunking the basketball.
Wow.
So Mauricio, you're going to have to do this next segment on your own because I'm hopping on Twitter and tracking that down.
It's crazy. Bianca's 5'8". The average wingspan or average arm length for a girl who's 5'8" is 26 inches. She has a standing reach of about 7 feet tall. So in order for her to be able to dunk, she has to jump at least 36 inches. That's 3 feet. That's smart.
Wow.
And that's
That guy's wearing
social
glasses.
media.
That
I'm
is
wearing glasses. Guys, happy Halloween. Back to you.
some great
Glasses
math.
make the man. Jason, as you mentioned, you're going to have to sit this one out. So I'll take over. We're just weeks away from the start of the Bobby Hurley era, and Hurley was known for his relentless and aggressive style as a point guard at Duke, and he's instilled that same fire in his team.
Blaine.
Guard Jerry Blake's one of the marquee returners for ASU has noticed a change in the basketball culture.
Well, it's always great when you're the returners and you help others, or you have a group of guys that's coming back because you guys have a great feel for each other, and you guys then want to win together versus trying to come in and get acclimated for yourself. So I think that's great that we've all been here, and looking forward to playing with these guys and making something happen.
Now, back to the outdoor sports. If you've given up on Sun Devil soccer, really don't blame yourself. The 7-game losing streak the team embarked on earlier this year was damaging, but hope is not yet lost in Tempe. 3 straight wins have put the Sun Devils right back in the mix with 3 games left in the regular season. Let's hand it off to someone who's been there.
To screw around and kind of like mess around, we need to be serious. And I think it's shown in our practices. We've been really focused and confident, and there's no way we shouldn't win the last 3 games.
Now here to take a look at ASU's tournament dreams, WCSN soccer reporter Miles Todd. Miles, we'll start with the simplest question of all. Can this team make the tournament?
They can. They just, with that last win, they got to even, so they are eligible to make the tournament. However, it's going to be tough. They have 3 road wins to win, and in order to do that, I think the main point there, or the main thing they need to do is score first. When they score first, as you see there, they are 7-1-0 actually. I messed up on the graphic, but they're 7-1-0, and when they concede first, they're 1-6-1. So obviously scoring first is a huge factor. Now, how are they going to score first? their lead scorer, Kelly Farguson, was out for 4.5 games, and when she came back on the field, even the players said, coach, it's just a whole different ball game with her there. Not only is she the goal-scoring threat, but she draws in so many defenders that when the defenders come at her, I mean, she just leaves her teammates open. So they really need to do is just score first, and with Callie, I think they can.
You've said what they need to do, Miles. You said how they're going to do it. Final question of all. Play fortune teller. Will they do it, Miles?
I think they will. Their next 2 games are against Utah and Colorado. Those are not the hardest games, but they're also not the easiest games. I think they can win those 2, and their final game will be against U of A. Definitely going to be their toughest matchup. If they win Utah and Colorado, I think they can take that momentum into Tucson, and from there, they get that 3rd win and hopefully make it in the tournament.
Again, 3 big road battles coming up for Sun Devil Soccer to close out their regular season. Keep it clicked on Cronkitesports.com. Coverage from Miles and the gang. Mauricio, you've got some coverage up there for soccer too, don't you?
Absolutely. Jason, as we mentioned earlier in the show, football already played and volleyball had a tough week with the Bay area schools. I'm a little worried for what Sun Devil fans will look forward to watch this weekend, but luckily that's why they pay guys like Blaine McCormick the big bucks. Blaine, what should Sun Devil fans be scribbling in their planners for this weekend?
Now, this Halloween weekend, hockey faces the Wisconsin Badgers in Madison tonight, and both games will start at 5 both today and tomorrow. While soccer takes on Utah in Salt Lake City tonight at 5 p.m. on the Pac12.com. On Saturday, women's tennis has day 2 of the Tennessee Fall Invitational, and they'll wrap that up on Sunday. As for soccer, Sunday they'll head to my home state of Colorado to take on the Buffaloes at 2 p.m. That does it for Weekend Forecast. I still need to get my costume, so I'll send it back to you guys.
Learned a little something about Blaine there. He's from Colorado, procrastinates on costumes. Important things, almost as important as the way it is. Mauricio and I, we're going to ask each other questions, give each other some answers, and try to solve the world's problems with a 30-second monologue. 2 of us were born ready to do this, so let's get it started. Now, ASU Volleyball, they've lost 2 straight. They continue to struggle without superstar Macy Gardner. What Sun Devil team would be the least impacted, however, by losing that star player?
You know what, Jason? We saw it with ASU Soccer earlier. They lost Kelly Farguson. They lost 5 in a row. But if I had to pick a team, I think it's ASU Hockey. Don't necessarily have that star player, and that's what makes them a good team. If they were to lose one of their better players, they'd still be fine. Now, Jason, question number 2. Are the Salute to Service uniforms, the ones that they whipped up, that Adidas whipped up, your favorite of the year?
Absolutely. You know, for once, the Sun Devils looked like the Sun Devils. Combining that honoring of Pat Tillman with a little bit #Throwback Thursday, it's a winning result. I like it a lot. ASU Hockey, their team getting plenty of hype after their play last weekend, but is that hype deserved when all they took down was a Division II team?
Well, Jason, I think it is deserved because when you look at the amount of scoring that they had, it was just indicative of a good Division I team. They dominated a Division II team. That's what they're supposed to do. We'll definitely learn more about that team against Wisconsin this week. And now, Jason, end of the month here, end of October. What was your favorite Sun Devil moment?
You know, you brought up the hype on ASU Hockey. Let me add to it. I love that opening puck drop at Gila River Arena, the first matchup. All the lights, all the fans, exciting stuff. And hey, it's not like there was a big on-field moment from a team like football to make up for it. Speaking of football, the Pac-12 South, that's a race again for most schools because Utah lost. ASU, they're in a different race. They're racing for a bowl eligibility. Will they get there? Are you concerned?
Jason, quite frankly, this shouldn't be a conversation. They have to split to make it. I think they do split. I think they beat Washington schools, and I think they'll end up actually splitting against Cal or Arizona. But the fact that it's even a conversation shouldn't be a deal. But now on to happier news. Jason, you mentioned earlier it's Halloween time. If you could pick out the Halloween costume of one Sun Devil athlete, who would it be, and what would you pick?
There's so many great options out there, Mal. Obviously, Bianca Ariano heading to med school, apparently. Plenty of options there. But, you know, I'm going to put DeMario Richards in a Luigi costume.
Oh, man.
From Mario Bros. Really just confuse everyone
Super DeMario. Instead, you're going Super DeLuigi.
Question reality. Don't believe that Mario's better than Luigi. They both bring a lot to the table, as does DeMario Richards.
I don't like that.
That was genius. Joey, zoom in on my face.
No.
Zoom in on me.
Come here.
I started looking at camera 6 because I knew I had to be chosen. With that Sun Devil football loss, it's pretty much official. This year's a mediocre one for ASU sports. Now, regardless of what Dick Vitale ranks the basketball team, what records Macy Gardner breaks, or what ridiculously high expectations we set for ASU football, they're all coming up, let me ease your weary conscience. That's a good thing. Probably. See, this year is a year of growing pains in Sun Devil Nation. Constant growth in volleyball, the expansion of hockey, and future editions of lacrosse, triathlon, it doesn't come easy. Arthur Conan Doyle, wise man, he wrote Sherlock Holmes, an even wiser man, once said that mediocrity knows nothing than itself, but talent instantly recognizes genius. Now, the talent ASU has, Todd Graham, Bobby Hurley, all the way up to Ray Anderson, that's genius. So let's all just be patient. We definitely might have said the same thing a few years back about Herb Sendek, Dennis Erickson, and company. But hey, let's just hope we're right this time. In sports, you just got to have a little faith even in times of horrible play calling and mediocrity. That's the way it is.
Jason, there's no way that you can justify that second down call in the triple overtime. That's definitely not top play, but our favorite segment here at CSL, top plays. Let's get things going. Jason, I believe you got this one.
Number 3 to that football game, because there were some great moments. The tip drill. Everybody loves the tip drill. This was not last night's game. They're wearing black. They're not wearing maroon and gold. Play so nice, we'll show it anyways. Mike Berkovici's celebrating. I'm happy when Berko's happy, even when things are going wrong.
Play number 2, it's Colorado once again. I guess our producers don't want us to relive that horrible night. Damari Richard fumbles, picked up by Cody Cole there, and Cole takes it to the house. He scored against Colorado, he scored against Oregon. Cole can do it all.
That's true. We're really doing all of you a service at home by not showing more footage of that game last night. It was emotionally draining. We were all up till 3 in the morning. Let's look at happier times. Sun Devil hockey, ASU, this is the club team. The double move and the finish. Bars take over the screen.
That was it.
Technical difficulties. You saw the finish. You saw the puck hit twine. That's what's really important. Top plays are finished. We're finished too. Mauricio, you excited for all weekend?
Absolutely. It should be a great Halloween weekend. You guys better have some great costumes. You guys better be safe. And you guys better join us next week for some Cronkite Sports Live.
And rest easy, Grantland.